All right, today I am in Detroit and I am getting a sneak peek at the 2025 Ford Maverick, and there is some new stuff going on, and there's a little bit of a surprise that I will show you a little bit later in the video. But I have to tell you, Ford did not give us any of the materials in advance, so I'm kind of winging it here. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to give you a walk around and I'm going to talk about the big new things. There's a lot of new things, but I'm going to talk about the big new things. So let's take a closer look at the 2025 Ford Maverick. All right, so we're just going to start with the walk around of the front of the vehicles. And right here we have an XLT trim, we have a Lariat, and then we have a Tremor in the corner over there. And the biggest change you're going to notice is going to be to the grille and to the front fascia and to the headlights. So as you can see over here on the Lariat model, you've got the LED lights that kind of circle around here. That looks a lot more like a Ford F-150. And you know, the whole front treatment was meant to look a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more bold, and a lot more truck-like. So LED treatment also on the projector headlights, and so this is what you've got going on the front of the vehicle. Now, the side profile is really not going to look terribly different, but when you get behind the wheel and inside the vehicle, you're going to notice another really big change here, because you now have a 13.2-inch screen that is on the dash, and this is going to be the biggest screen available in this size vehicle. Now, what I thought was really interesting is during the presentation, Ford kept calling this a mid-size truck, mid-size truck, mid-size truck. We here at Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk call this a compact truck. So it's in a different segment, is not competing in my mind with the Honda Ridgeline or the Ford Ranger, you know, not mid-size, but Ford's calling it mid-size. So at any rate, biggest screen right here. You also now have a standard 8-inch digital display behind the wheel, but they've kept a lot of the interior design the same, and you have some nice, good, functional materials here. So this was the XLT trim we were looking at. You've got some new wheel treatments as well available, and you have blackout package available, which will also give you a blacked out roofline. So this right here, we will move over into the Tremor package. You know, they wanted to keep a nice, rugged, off-road worthy and capable vehicle in the lineup. So this is what you've got here. You have a little bit of a lifted suspension and just some more rugged wheels and things like that. You know what, we'll just kind of pop this out a little bit. I was trying to avoid getting too many people in the shot, but it's just going to be unavoidable. So, you know, the packaging is not going to be unfamiliar, because you do have, you know, the same orange accents on the wheels, on the badging, and then when you come inside, you'll also notice the Tremor orange accent pieces throughout the vehicle. And again, you have this really large 13.2-inch screen, and it looks really good. You can, let's see, you know what, let's just climb in here for a minute. So it looks like you can make the map full screen, and then you could also have the more split screen treatment as well. I don't know how we go back to the split screen, but time to play with it later. This is the Sync 4 system, so I was kind of surprised. I have to admit, they just added Google built into the Ford Explorer, and I thought maybe they would add it in here as well, but they didn't. So this is going to be Sync 4. You have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, in addition to the real-time traffic and active navigation that is supplied by Ford. All right, so that is in terms of a little bit of an interior walk around, but we're going to come over to this eruption green vehicle. This is the Lariat trim. This is going to be a new color that is available on this vehicle, but that is not the big news here. The big news here is going to be the fact that this is a hybrid, and for the first time, the Maverick is available as a hybrid with all-wheel drive. So that is the big news here. So you still have the 2.5-liter engine mated to the hybrid powertrain, and what this does is this gives you the capability to be able to tow up to 4,000 pounds with the tow package. So previously the hybrid could only tow, I think, about 2,000 pounds, but now the hybrid, because it has all-wheel drive, can tow up to 4,000 pounds, just like the gasoline-only version. So just take a quick look in here. And because they didn't give us the advanced materials, I am a little bit sketchy on the specs, but I believe they said it gets 191 horsepower is the target for the hybrid powertrain, and you should get 42 miles per gallon in the city with the front-wheel drive model and 40 miles per gallon with the all-wheel drive model. So some exterior changes, some interior changes, but as I said, the big news of the day, I think, is, at least in terms of these three vehicles that we're seeing right here, the big news is going to be the fact that you have hybrid all-wheel drive option for the first time. Now, the gas-only engine is still 2.0 liter EcoBoost. But here you go, 2.5 liter engine mated to the hybrid powertrain plus all-wheel drive. Now, it's time for the surprise. And this right here is the surprise. This is the Ford Maverick Lobo. And if it looks like it's already been modified, it has. And Ford did that on purpose because they are making it look like a street truck. Now, when they went through the presentation, they told us the idea here was to look at how owners were modifying their vehicles to make it look more street-worthy, performance-oriented, and fun to drive, and that's what they came up with. So let's just flip the camera around and we'll just take a quick look at this vehicle. All right, so this is just a look at the exterior of the Lobo. You can see it has the Lobo logo on the side. You've got some different wheels, and primarily you're going to notice that this has a different grille treatment. The suspension has been lowered, and overall the vehicle just looks a little bit meaner and a little bit more street-worthy. They've changed the brakes, they've changed the steering, they've changed a lot of things about how this vehicle operates, but what they started with was a 2.0 liter gasoline powertrain and all-wheel drive. When you come inside the vehicle, you'll notice that there are some graphic changes as well, including the seating materials, the stitching, and yeah, the Lobo logo. Now, because Ford did not give us the press materials in advance, they thankfully have this lovely little sign set up over here that tells us a lot of what is different. So in terms of performance, you have the lower ride height, you have specially tuned suspension and steering, you have the twin clutch rear drive unit, upgraded cooling system, steering wheel paddle shifters. Missed those when we were looking on the interior, but paddle shifters, and a Lobo drive mode for closed course usage. So essentially what the Lobo mode does is it turns off stability control. But yeah, so they have to say it's closed course only. But the idea is you have some more performance features and a really badass looking truck in terms of the overall design and appearance. So in addition to learning about the 2025 Ford Maverick, the Lariat, the Tremor, and the XLT, yep, you now have the Maverick Lobo. I will be writing an article with more information about these trucks, so be sure to check us out on the web at pickuptrucktalk.com. All right, that is what I have for you today on the 2025 Ford Maverick. Thanks for watching, and I will see you down the road.